I know you so cold. You eat ass. Oh. Get him.
Wait a minute, we got someone on the side, nigga.
Now, new details in a shooting on a busy road near Sanford. It left one person dead, multiple others hurt. Shots were fired earlier this morning near Reinhardt Road and County Road 46A, just steps away from the apartment complex.
Yeah, we just got those details a few hours ago. The Seminole County Sheriff's Office says 31-year-old Princess Tolliver from Tallahassee was killed in the early morning shooting here at this intersection. They also say multiple people were injured, but won't say who and exactly how many.
A car full of friends. A night out to see a concert. For Princess Tolliver, it was a moment of pure joy, of music and laughter. But what if that simple moment wasn't just a part of your story, but the final chapter? On a quiet road in Sanford, Florida, an ambush shattered the silence. A rental van, hit by a sudden, brutal storm of gunfire. When the smoke cleared out, 5 women were injured, but only one had been taken. She was a dedicated public servant, a warm and beloved daughter. How could a woman so good become the victim of a violence so vicious? This wasn't a random act. The roots of this tragedy were planted long ago, in a bitter and very public feud between 2 rival rap artists. A digital conflict broadcast for the world to see. But how did that online beef cross over into the real world? And what happened when it did? The answer is a chilling convergence of worlds, a fatal error of judgment, and a gang's desperate hunger for reputation.
Seminole County deputies are on the hunt for the person or persons responsible for a deadly shooting at this busy intersection near Sanford. Just before 2:30 Monday morning, a shooting involving 2 vehicles at Reinhardt Road and County Road 46A left a woman dead and multiple people injured. The woman is 31-year-old Princess Tolliver of Tallahassee.
We're thinking about the victims, again, like praying. We feel terrible about the person that lost their life to something that we don't know all the information, but to something so senseless.
The truth lies in a year-long pursuit of justice that would expose an entire criminal organization. If you want to understand how a public feud can have private, devastating consequences, stick with us. And while you're here, a quick like and subscribe helps us keep sharing these important stories. Welcome to Theories of True Crime Stories. Kindly subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss our future posts on any of our latest true crime stories.
So you want to get married in your 20s?
Yeah.
You think you could be monogamous though?
Yeah.
Do you know what monogamous mean, Kodak?
No.
I know, exactly.
Listen, the other night I fell asleep on the phone with a girl.
Is that the one?
I hope so.
Here we go. Cute face ass fat. Jump on my knees, jump on my back. Here you going out there.
Before she was a headline, Princess Tolliver was a person, a vibrant, 31-year-old civilian employee at the Florida State University Police Department. To her grandmother, Barbara Flynn Tolliver, she was a very sweet person and a very outgoing young lady. She was a hard worker and had a profound devotion to her family, particularly her 3 sisters, with whom she shared a very close bond. Princess was not part of any conflict. She was simply a responsible, positive individual living her life. But on January 15th, 2023, that stable life was put on pause for a weekend trip, a trip that would lead her directly into the path of a conflict she knew nothing about. The true genesis of this tragic night lies in a bitter and public feud between 2 prominent rappers, Bill Capri, known as Kodak Black, and Pierre DeLince, known as Jack Boy. They had a complex history, having grown up together as friends and collaborators. However, their relationship soured, then escalating into a very public rivalry. Social media became a battleground for threats and insults, leading to diss tracks and legal battles. This was more than just a public dispute. The feud was being watched by local criminal street gangs in Sanford, known as On Top Forever or ODF. This gang, a local Crips affiliate, saw the high-profile conflict as an opportunity. Their motive was simple: to gain street validation by targeting a major figure like Jack Boy. They wanted to make a name for themselves in the criminal world. The stage was set. An online feud, fueled by ego and disrespect, was now being observed by a gang hungry for validation. On that night in January, These two worlds were about to collide in the most violent way imaginable. Princess Tolliver had no idea she was about to be caught in the middle of it. Following the concert, Princess and her 5 friends piled into a rented black Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. The mood inside was exactly what you'd expect. A survivor later described it, saying they were just vibing. Everybody's just laughing, having fun, nothing out of the ordinary. The van headed toward the highway, beginning the journey home. They were just minutes away from the end of their night. But what they didn't know was that a black Nissan was following them. The gang was on the hunt, and in their minds, they had found their target. Then, out of nowhere, the Nissan pulled alongside the van, and the next sound anyone heard wasn't a car horn or a siren. It was a deafening, terrifying hail of bullets. A survivor recounted the terrifying experience, describing how a whole bunch of shots erupted and never stopped. All 6 women inside the van were struck by the indiscriminate gunfire. In a moment of incredible presence of mind, the van's driver sped directly to a nearby hospital. But it was too late for Princess. She was hit multiple times and tragically died at the scene. The attackers fled. The other 5 women survived, but Princess did not.
We're also learning more tonight about one of the victims in an early morning shooting in Seminole County.
Deputies confirming Princess Tolliver died when people in one vehicle started shooting at people in another. West 2's Luana Munoz spoke with Tolliver's family. And Luana, what did they tell you?
I spoke with her grandmother, who says that Princess's father is not taking this very well right now. Right now, they're just trying to figure out exactly why this is happening and hoping that officers will arrest someone soon.
She was a very outgoing young lady, a very sweet person, lovable person.
That's how Barbara Flynn Tolliver remembers her granddaughter, 31-year-old Princess Tolliver. Seminole County Sheriff's deputies say that the young lady died after a shooting broke out around 2:30 Monday morning on Reinhardt Road and County Road 46A in Sanford. Deputies believe that a vehicle began shooting at another vehicle. One of those is now being processed for evidence. Multiple people were taken to the hospital for treatment.
We are just completely at awe about why something like this would have happened to her.
Tolliver was from Tallahassee and came from a large family that loved her. Her grandmother believes she was in Central Florida visiting for the weekend.
She was a very hard worker, and she would do anything to help her other sisters. She has 3 other sisters, and they were very, very close.
Now family is hopeful someone will come forward with information that'll lead investigators to the person or persons responsible.
Never dreamed anything like this would happen to one of my grandchildren.
The question that haunted everyone was not just who did this, but why. And the answer, when it finally came, was even more tragic than the crime itself. What you're watching is not just a true crime story. It's a reminder of the real-world consequences of virtual conflicts. So, if this story resonates with you, please consider sharing it. It helps raise awareness and get the story out.
Madison Rivera and her sister-in-law, Donais Rivera, don't live far from where the shots were fired. They describe the shooting as shocking and scary.
To hear that this morning was kind of crazy. Yeah. We would have never expected it to be so close to home.
Madison says it's unnerving, especially because the pair go on routine walks in that area.
That's our route, so maybe we need to find a different one or, start walking and running on a treadmill at home where we hopefully know it's safe.
The sheriff's office says the shooting doesn't appear to be random, but detectives are trying to nail down exactly what happened here. Investigators say a vehicle believed to be involved was recovered Monday afternoon. News 6 captured video of a damaged car and a white truck being towed away from the scene. Neighbors plead to the shooter. Think about the innocent bystanders and families who live nearby.
I feel like this area is filled with families with small kids.
The question of why was finally answered. Investigators determined that the women's van was never the intended target. It was a horrific case of mistaken identity. Princess was killed because the shooters thought Jack Boy was in her van. The motive was clear, but the target was tragically wrong. This was not a case to be easily solved. It required a year-long investigation by the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. It was a massive effort, involving over 120 search warrants, the seizure of 6 vehicles, and crucial help from federal and local agencies. The pursuit of justice became a digital deep dive, matching ballistics to seized cars and using cell phone data and social media communications to build their case. The evidence they uncovered was overwhelming. More than a year after the shooting, Sheriff Dennis Lemma announced a massive break in the case: the arrest of 13 suspects. A grand jury then formally indicted 12 defendants for Princess Tolliver's murder, but they didn't stop there. The suspects were also hit with extensive RICO, racketeer-influenced and corrupt organization, charges. This was a deliberate and aggressive strategy by the state attorney's office to dismantle the entire OTF criminal enterprise, not just prosecute a single act of violence. It was a clear message: gang activities would be met with an all-out legal response.
13 alleged members of a very violent gang are now here at the Seminole County Jail. One still has not been caught, but we learned that that man actually was arrested the day after the shooting, but eventually was released.
Princess Tolliver was an innocent victim killed when investigators say members of a Sanford gang called On Top Forever, or OTF, opened fire on the van she was riding in with friends in January last year.
Somebody puts it out on the internet. I see my daughter dead on a Sprinter van on the internet. That's just hard. It was just man.
Tolliver's father, Edward's been waiting for justice, and yesterday, the Seminole County Sheriff announced 13 people are now in jail charged with Princess's murder and racketeering.
I'm glad that those 13, 14 people are off the street and no one else can be harmed by them. They deserve... These jails are too good of a place for them.
The sheriff says OTF was possibly trying to build street cred by targeting a rapper, Jack Boy, who'd performed that night in Sanford. He'd been in a feud with well-known rapper Kodak Black, and the sheriff says there's no evidence yet directly linking Kodak to the crime. Investigators are also still trying to catch one man, 25-year-old Trevon Law. Court records show that on the day after Tolliver was killed, Orange County deputies actually arrested Law in an SUV that Seminole County was looking for. The records show Law was questioned by Seminole County detectives, but only charged for having marijuana, and eventually that case was dropped. Another alleged gang member, Jamichael Wright, was arrested in May for a 2022 deadly shooting on the 408, but in December, the state attorney's office dropped that case, citing a lack of evidence. Now the suspects are being held with no bond. Tolliver believes more people involved in the feud should also be arrested.
And now my daughter's dead because of this stupid gun activity and the racketeering and the selling of drugs and so on and so forth. She was just here having a good time, and now she's dead.
Princess Tolliver's story is a profound tragedy, a profound, preventable tragedy. Her life was a powerful example of hard work and family, but her death serves as a chilling reminder of how the actions of a few can have devastating, random, and irreversible consequences for an innocent person. Her death serves as a chilling reminder of how online feuds and the need for street validation can have devastating, random, and irreversible consequences for innocent people. She was in the wrong place at the wrong time, then caught in the crossfire of a conflict that had nothing to do with her. Her story is a wake-up call to the danger that exists when criminal gangs and social media rivalries collide. Tell us in the comments below. How do you think we can stop online conflicts from turning into real-world violence? And what do you believe is the best way to honor the memory of unintended targets like Princess Tolliver? Now, if this story has perfectly resonated with you, kindly take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to keep these stories alive. Your support keeps us going. Until next time when we bring these crucial narratives to light again, you all should stay safe out there. Thanks for watching, and see you on our next story.